Introducing SITEVIEW Web. SITEVIEW Web is a web server software that can run under most popular operating systems, including Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. It can accommodate MicroEdge's data loggers and bring them online. System diagram. SITEVIEW Web can be installed in a Windows, Linux, or Mac OS machine, and that machine is connected to your local network. PreciseLog data loggers will join the local network through its Wi-Fi module. SiteLog or iLog data loggers will use a USB device server to connect to the local network. A USB device server can be a SITEVIEW with USB device service turned on, or one of these USB device server hardwares. Users can visit the system from a web browser on their device by entering the IP address of the web server machine. Access SITEVIEW Web. Open a web browser, enter the IP address and the port number of the web server machine. By default, the port number is 8998. In the login page, enter the username and password. By default, admin is the username and password. That's ADMIN. At the left-hand side of the top bar, a hamburger button is used to show or hide the left-hand side menu. Click the button to toggle the left-hand side menu bar. If the system is new, you should change your admin password right away by clicking this icon. Add data loggers to the system. Let's add more data loggers to the system by clicking System Configuration icon and choose Add Remote Device button. Click Add Connection button and fill out the settings for a new connection in the pop-up dialog. The new connection will be used to communicate with a Wi-Fi data logger directly, or contact other USB data loggers through a USB device server. Some key settings for a USB device server or a Wi-Fi data logger includes an IP address, a port number, and a password. Those settings must be correct to make the connection work. Click Save to create the server connection. If the system found any data loggers through the connection, they will be included automatically. View data loggers and their status. Click the All Devices button to view all recognized data loggers by the system. The status information of each data logger is displayed in a panel. Click the Device button to view the status of a specific data logger. Click a data logger from the pop-up list. The data logger's status, including the general, channels information, and downloaded data, are displayed inside a panel view. The green icon indicates the data logger is online. If the system has lost the connection to the data logger, this icon will become red. Click these icons to view the alarm status, change alarm settings, and configure for a new logging session. The description of the data logger and its channels are editable. You can click these icons to change them. Click the plus icon to add the channel readings to the dashboard. Click Yes to confirm it. Once the reading was added to the dashboard, the plus icon will change to a minus icon. You can click it to remove the reading from the dashboard. Now, click the dashboard button to go to the dashboard page. The readings from the two channels were added to the lower section of the dashboard. Switch back to the logger's status page. Database files for all logging sessions are listed in the Downloaded Data section. Click the View button to display the data in graphic view. Navigate data in graph window. The downloaded data are presented in graph view and tabular view, separated by two tabs. In the graph view tab, the first group of buttons are used to switch time window of interest. Then the following two buttons are used to shift time window back and forth. These two buttons are used to switch the history of zooms back and forth. The button next to them is used to refresh the graph to the latest data. The calendar is used to choose a start date for the graph. Click this button to export the graph to a PDF file. Click this button to export the graph to an image file. And next to export the graph to a CSV file. Click Tabular View to view the data in a table. Use these buttons to navigate the pages back and forth. Notice the page number changed as well as the data in the table. Use the calendar to jump to a start date if the graph's time span is more than 1 day. Let's go back to Graph tab and navigate the graph to a specific time window. The available time windows are 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, and 1 year. Use the calendar to jump to December 1st for a month of data. To zoom in on the graph, find a place to start first. Then press the mouse and hold it. Move the mouse to a new location and release the mouse. Click any channel's description to highlight the curve for the channel. Click the checkbox beside the channel description to show or hide the curve for the channel. Create new logging session. If you need to change some key settings of a data logger, such as the sampling interval or a channel's equation, the data logger must start a new logging session. Each logging session has its own database file that you can open individually from the data logger's status page. Visit the data logger's status page first by selecting it from the list. Click this icon to jump to the configuration page of the data logger. You may change channel type, enable the channels that you are interested in, choose a different equation for a channel, change when the new logging session will start, select a different sampling interval, then click the Save button to save the new session to the data logger. Configure SMTP server. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. You can use SMTP server to send out an alarm notification to an email address or text messages. Go to the SMTP server page. Click this button to either create a new entry or edit an existing entry. If everything is fine, click Save button to save the setting. To make sure the SMTP server works, click the Test button to send out a test email. You should receive an email or text message if the SMTP server was created correctly. Add emails and email groups. An email group contains a list of email addresses. If you add an email group to an alarm notification entity and there is an alarm, the alarm notification will be sent to all emails in that group. Go to the email group page. Click Add Email button and add an email address to the email list table. Add another email address and the name to the list. Click this button to create the first email group. Give a name to this group and click Save. Click this button under the new created group to add emails to the group. In the pop-up dialog, select both of the emails and click Save. Now, Manager G1 is ready to be added to an alarm notification entry. Create custom equations. A custom equation is a snippet of script, C# language source code, does the data conversion for a custom measurement. You use custom equation if the measurement that the system provides can't meet your needs. Go to the custom equation page. Click this button to add a new equation. The custom equation contains a name, a description, an output unit, and the source code for the data conversion. The source code can be a function block that contains a name and the arguments. The function must return a value. Once you've finished the editing, you must click Compile to make sure the source code passes the compilation. Click Save to save your custom equation. You can also import one or more equations from a custom equation package that were exported from SITEVIEW software by clicking this Import button. For detailed instructions about custom equations, please refer to the user's manual of SITEVIEW software. Create unit category and unit. A unit, or a unit of measurement, is a definite magnitude of a physical quantity used to describe how large or small a physical quantity is. For example, Celsius and Fahrenheit are two temperature units under temperature category. Open unit category first. By default, the system already includes all built-in unit categories and their units, and they are listed as panels. Click this button to create a new unit category. Give a name and select Save. Scroll down to find the new created unit category and click this button to enter it. Click this button to add a unit under this unit category. Fill out these necessary settings and click Save. Create another unit. Now you've created a new unit category and added 2 units under it, and they are ready to be used by equations. You can use these 2 buttons to edit or delete an existing unit. View real-time data. Click Real-Time button to access the real-time page. The page will list all data from all online data loggers. The real-time readings can be in panel view or table view grouped by data loggers. Currently, panel view is active. Click Table View to switch to the table view mode. Click this button if you want to view the real-time graph for an individual data logger. A separate tab will be opened and the real-time data will be added to the end of the graph every 10 seconds. You may use these buttons to change the time span of the graph. All channels readings will be displayed at the bottom section of the page, and you can show or hide each channel's curve by toggling the checkbox beside the channel description. You can also view the downloaded data by clicking this button. View downloaded data from SystemDB. Click Database to enter the System Database page. All database files are listed under each data logger that they belong to. The green icon indicates the database is for the current logging session and it cannot be deleted. The red icon indicates the database is for a previous logging session. Click the Delete button to delete the database or Download button to download the database. Click this link to open the database. Set up device alarm. Visit a device's status page and click the Alarm Setting button to visit the alarm setting page for this device. You must enable the device alarm by checking this checkbox if you want any of the below alarms to occur. You must select an email group so that any alarm notification can be sent out. If you enable COM error and the device is offline, an alarm notification will be fired. For any alarm, you can choose different on delay and off delay values to indicate how long the system will wait before going into alarm or going off alarm. Each channel has low and high alarm values. When the current reading is below the low alarm value, it will trigger the low alarm. If the reading is above the high alarm value, it will trigger the high alarm. You can enable or disable channel alarm by toggling these boxes. If everything is fine, you must click Save to save the settings to the system, and then click Yes to confirm your action. View alarm status. Click the Alarm Status button to visit Alarm Status page. Alarm informations are grouped by data loggers and are listed in each panel. The caption bar for each device alarm shows the device's identification and indicates if the device level alarm is enabled or not. You can edit the alarm information by clicking the Edit button. The green ball with the letter N indicates this alarm setting is in a normal state. This entry indicates the device is online, and if there is an alarm for this device, Manager G1 email group will be used to send out the alarm notifications. These icons are for the channel alarm status. This indicates channel 0 is in a normal state and the alarms are disabled for the rest of the channels. Click the Help button to learn the meaning of all alarm statuses. View and change administrator's settings. Open the Settings dialog by clicking Admin Settings menu. You can change your email address by clicking this button and change your password by clicking this button. You can disable or enable Reset Password feature by toggling this button. If the following conditions are met, a Reset Password button will be displayed on the login page, allowing the system to send out a temporary password to your email. Reset Password is enabled, the admin's email is valid, your SMTP server was configured correctly. You can change the color theme of the website by clicking this button. Currently, it is in dark theme. Click it to change to light theme. Now let's change it back to dark theme. As the administrator, you can add more users to the system and give them different privileges. Click this button to add a new user. Enter the username. Select the user type from the drop-down menu. Available options are Manager, Operator, and Viewer. Click the Help button to learn the privileges for those user types. Enter the email address, password, and click Save to add the new user. You can edit all users' settings, change their password, and delete them by using these buttons. You can also manage all devices by enabling them or disabling them. If a device is disabled, it will not be visible by users and the system will not download their data either. Create your own space. Click My Room to access your space. This is the home page of your space from which you can add controls and add more links to unlimited subspaces. In order to edit the page, you must check this box to enter the design screen mode. Once you're in the screen design mode, the top bar and the left bar will be displayed for you to design the space. You can drag any control on the top bar and drop it to an available grid. Those controls are reading, one or more readings from a data logger. Alarm status, one or more alarm status from a data logger. Page link, a hyperlink to a new or an existing page. Label, static label. Let's add some reading controls to the screen by dragging and dropping them onto available grids. In the pop-up dialog, you select a data logger from the list and select channels you want to include. We're adding 3-channel readings from the first data logger to the first row. Now we're about to add another 3-channel readings from the second data logger to the second row. You can also add multiple channels to one control. Add a label to the screen. You give the description of the label, then choose a font size, color, and the background color of the label. Use the buttons on the cell level toolbar to edit the control, delete the control, and add vertical lines at the 2 sides of the control. Turn off the design screen mode once you've finished editing. Let's add a page link to the screen and point to a new page. The link was created and points to a new page. You can move any control from one grid to another by dragging and dropping it. Let's add a label to see how it can be formatted. You can use CSS style sheet language and Bootstrap 4 directives to format the text like this. Let's click the Edit button to change some settings to make the label outstanding. You can change the font size to make the label smaller, change the text color to white, and change the background color to, let's say, navy. Let's click the link we just created to enter the new page. Let's add some alarm status to the new page. First of all, we're going to add a COM error alarm status to the selected grid. Then we will add the channel level alarm status to another grid. On the caption bar of each space, the first button is used to change the space's name. The second button is used to share this page to other users, separated by commas. If you share a page to other users, your page link will be displayed in their dashboard, and they can view your page. View Diagnostic Log. Click the menu to visit the Diagnostic Log page. Use these buttons to switch to a different day. Click this button to delete logs older than 30 days. View Alarm Events. Click the Alarm Events button to enter Alarm Events page. Use these buttons to navigate to a different day. Click Load More to load more alarm events if there are more events in the current day.